Are aliens watching us humans? Can they see the 11 steps we humans are taking towards modernity? Those whom we call God, are they the same higher intelligence, alien beings who can observe our every move but do not wish to have any interaction or connection with us? Such claims are made according to some scientists' hypotheses. Now friends, these are not just big claims. On what evidence are scientists making these assertions? The story begins in the year 1950 when, in the darkness of night in New York City, people suddenly began to disappear in groups of 11. Residents of different neighborhoods were quite troubled by these mysterious disappearances and started reporting them to the police. By the way, this is a true event. During the same time, some people began to report sightings of objects resembling UFOs in the dark night sky. These individuals then came to the news media to publicly share their experiences, describing what they saw and how it made them feel anxious. I just remember waking up to see a large head hovering over me. The Air Force has recently made public an archive of UFO reports. An investigation is really the only planet with life is something else. As a result, people began to connect these two events, and stories started to emerge that surely aliens were behind the disappearances. This serious narrative became so popular that a famous drawing was published in New York magazine depicting aliens abducting people from Earth in the palm dark of night. At the same time, some genius scientists in Los Alamos, America, were having lunch together and discussing issues related to the universe. Suddenly, one of them noticed this diamond-like drawing, which sparked a question in their minds that would lead top genius scientists to lose sleep over for decades to come. These scientists were none other than the chief architect of America's Manhattan Project, which developed the world's first nuclear bomb, and Nobel Prize winner Enrico Fermi. The simple question that came to his mind was, if our universe is 13 billion years old and there are billions and trillions of stars and planets here, then mathematically, and even by common sense, there should be abundant living and intelligent life in the universe. The existence of aliens should not only be possible, but should be common. And on this, Somi asked her most iconic question. So then where are all these aliens? Why can't we see any, brother? And this was actually a very brilliant question, because just think about it, we consider life to be special. We consider ourselves special, but the elements that make us up are not special or rare in the universe. I mean, when we talk about life, we talk about DNA, which we consider a special molecule that can replicate itself, allowing the cycle of life to continue on Earth, and DNA has been formed. These 5 basic elements are carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, phosphorus, and nitrogen. Now, let's understand how rare these 5 special elements are by looking at their stability. These are the top 5 elements present in our solar system in the T highest quantities: hydrogen, helium, oxygen, carbon, and nitrogen. These are also the 5 elements that are most abundant in our Milky Way galaxy, and they are the elements that are most prevalent in our universe. Literally, you can see the elements that have created us. Carbon is the most commonly and abundantly available element throughout the universe. Even our Earth is not special. It contains the same common elements in almost the same quantities that are generally present everywhere in the universe. Now, I know you will say that Earth is at a perfectly ideal distance from the Sun, which is called the Goldilocks zone, necessary for the birth of life. Isn't this special? So what is special about it? Today, thanks to NASA's Kepler Space Telescope and other missions, we find out that for every 5 stars, at least one has a planet that is in the Goldilocks zone, just like our Earth, meaning that there are still chances for life to exist there. Now consider this. It will blow your mind. Our universe is at least 13.8 billion years old. In just our galaxy, there are 40 billion, that is 400 crore stars. And in our observable universe, there are 2 trillion galaxies like our Milky Way. If we do basic multiplication, then 2 trillion times 40 billion equals 6 trillion, which means this number has 22 zeros after 8. Now, if we also factor in the time dimension, which is 13.8 billion years that the universe has been here, my simple question to you is, with so many stars over such a long period of time, and in a universe where the raw materials for life like us are completely common, are we really that special? Are we the only intelligent beings? Now consider this. It will also blow your mind. Our Earth is only 4.5 billion years old. The first living cell was formed from non-living material 3.7 billion years ago through a process we call biogenesis. The first life forms emerged from water onto land 390 million years ago. Dinosaurs, which seem like very ancient creatures to us, are only about 250 million years old, and they went extinct 65 million years ago. Humans have only existed for 300,000 years, and it was only about 10,000 to 12,000 years ago that we began agriculture. We created the first computer and engine just 200 years ago, and today we are sending robots to Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, to pierce through its 15-kilometer thick ice layer in search of alien life. This entire mission is set to launch on October 1st. It is marvelous. But the point here is that the advancement of intelligent life's intelligence is exponential. It compounds over time. In the last 100 years, we have achieved advancements that did not occur in the previous 1,000 years, and in the last 200 years, we have accomplished what was not achieved in the last 5,000 years. We have only been born on Earth for 3.7 billion years, because the Earth itself is 4.5 billion years old, but the universe is 13.8 billion years old. Now, here's another interesting paradox. Suppose that 1 in every 5 planets is in the Goldilocks zone, where the ingredients for life are super common, and there are trillions of planets and stars in the universe. If there is life on a planet similar to Earth, that is just a little older than us, say 300 million years older, then in 300 million years, we went from the first life emerging from water to becoming a super intelligent species. Just imagine where we will be in 300 million years. Why is it not possible that some other life form in this vast and limitless universe has reached that level? They could be 300 million years, or perhaps even 3 billion years, more advanced than us. We cannot even imagine what such a being would be like. The difference in intelligence between us and them could be 1,000 times greater than the difference between a spider and a human. So why do we not see the existence of such powerful aliens in this universe? As soon as scientists deeply and openly understood the seriousness of Enrico Fermi's question, all the scientists began to search for answers to this question. This famous question then started to be referred to again. The Fermi Paradox. It seems that after the birth of the Fermi Paradox concept, the entire scientific community split into 2 parts. One group of scientists began to wonder whether Enrico Fermi's thinking was even justified. Is it really true that we are not finding any evidence of aliens in this infinite universe? It is also possible that we haven't really made a proper effort to search. Now, we will refer to the group of scientists who hold this belief as group number 1, which wants to find evidence of intelligent aliens at any cost. Now, let's talk about group number 2. The second group consisted of scientists who had accepted that we have not found evidence of intelligent aliens so far, nor are we likely to find any in the future. And they began to look for explanations to justify what the aliens' constraints might be. We will refer to the group of scientists holding this line of thought as group number 2. Now think about which groups, scientists, your thoughts align with as you watch the video. Write in the comments below, because you will find out what the future holds for your thoughts as the video progresses. So, comment down below which thought you agree with, thought number 1 or thought number 2. Now let's first understand what the future looked like for the scientists of thought number 1. What a stir they caused! So, the scientists in Group 1 were not convinced by Enrico Fermi's statements. They believed that evidence of aliens could be found if we put in more effort to search for it. And for this reason, these scientists began to take the issue of aliens more seriously. One leading name in the group was the American astronomer Frank Drake, who initiated the first large-scale alien search operation in history. It was in 1950. At that time, the Green Bank telescope in the US was the world's first radio astronomy telescope. Frank Drake was the first to use the Green Bank telescope for this purpose. He aimed to listen for unusual radio waves coming from the universe, so that if any alien life wanted to communicate with us, their call could be heard. Now, why were radio waves specifically chosen for this? Aliens can easily travel millions of light years and bypass Earth's atmosphere to reach us, which is why we should listen for their signals. Even we humans, who are intelligent life, have been sending radio waves into space via broadcast for 100 years, which have at least reached 1,000 stars. As of today, yes, you know, our present signals have already reached the star system of Sirius, Proxima Centauri. And if intelligent alien life exists on any planet around them, then our message of existence would have already reached them. This is why radio telescopes were chosen. But since Frank Drake was alone, progress was quite slow. We needed capable minds to come together and work in a unified direction to accelerate progress. Therefore, under Frank Drake's initiative, a meeting of the top scientists of that time was known as the Green Bank Meeting. This meeting included several iconic names, such as Carl Sagan, Nobel laureate Melvin Calvin, and Philip Morris, who was part of the Manhattan Project of 1944. It was in this meeting that an initiative was born that would become the backbone of all alien missions around the world. The initiative that will serve as our ears in space was called the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, or SETI, which was a serious global scientific effort in the search for intelligent alien life. After that, several missions were launched to find such intelligent alien life, funded by some independent private investors in collaboration with other SETI organizations and radio telescopes, as well as NASA. So, what efforts did SETI's missions make, and how much progress was achieved? Did we finally hear from aliens? In 1977, through SETI's efforts, we received a very mysterious message that was heard only once in history, as if some intelligent alien was trying to send us a message, and it was quite peculiar compared to any other signal. This signal was named the WOW signal at that time. I have already made a detailed video on this, which you can watch later by clicking the button above. There was another project called Project Phoenix, which ran from 1995 to 2004, where we targeted 800 nearby stars and attempted to establish radio communication with them, but unfortunately, we did not receive any positive response. In 2014, the largest alien search project to date was launched by SETI, named Breakthrough Listen Project, which is privately funded with approximately 1,000 crores in funding for 10 years. This project has also been running and is about to conclude. In addition, SETI collaborated with NASA to install modules for alien search operations in several of NASA's missions, allowing them to fulfill their own agenda alongside NASA's heavily funded missions. Just like in September 1977, we sent a golden record to aliens with NASA's Voyager 1 mission, which included 100 special images along with messages of hello and greetings recorded in 55 languages. SETI has conducted many searches so far, collaborations with NASA's Kepler and James Webb Space Telescope, as well as collaborations with NASA's Mars and Moon missions. These support the #1 scientists. So far, there has been no solid evidence of alien signals. Such definitive proof has not yet been found, but the search is still ongoing. Now, let's focus a bit on the story. On the side of the other scientists, the group of scientists who believed that we have never found proof of alien presence and that we will never find it in the future. So, what tricks did they play? As you know, in science, before presenting any argument, you should have some solid logic, evidence, or justification. So, what logic and arguments did this group have? To justify their statements, they are very creative and truly mind-blowing. We will discuss 11 reasons that could explain why intelligent life may not want to make contact with us humans, or why they might be unable to establish contact with us, and what their possible constraints could be. So, in 1973, a very interesting paper is published by Harvard astrophysicist John Ball, who presents a very creative argument. John Ball says that a perfect zoo is one where the animals have no idea about their owners. Whether it is small or as large as a wildlife reserve, national park, or sanctuary, the creatures within consider it their own world and remain cut off from the outside world. The creators of such zoos have specific purposes behind their establishment. Studying the natural behavior of animals and their evolution, could it be that more intelligent aliens are doing the same with us? This idea was named the zoo hypothesis, which John Ball later modified and claimed that our Earth is perhaps nothing more than a laboratory, and we are like lab rats being experimented on. How does an intelligent civilization evolve? And can the evolution of intelligent life be somehow manipulated to occur at the right time? Can they be accelerated so that contact can be established with them in the future? This variation of the hypothesis is called the laboratory hypothesis. An interesting point is that if you look in religious texts, many religious books such as the Bhagavad Gita, Bible and Quran also hint at the existence of some powerful beings whom we refer to as God or Allah, who are watching over us. They have sent us to this earth to test us, and ultimately there will be an accounting for everyone. Could it be that those we call God are actually advanced aliens who are observing our world but do not wish to interact with us? The simulation hypothesis is a similar idea that claims the universe and everything in it is nothing but a computer simulation, like the artificial worlds created in games. This simulation could be run by some advanced hypercomputer, either for entertainment or for experimentation. However, any of these ideas could potentially be true regarding the existence of God or just advanced aliens. But since we currently have no solid evidence to justify them, they are still referred to as hypotheses, not theories. The difference between hypotheses and theories can be seen in simple terms. In the language of science, a theory is a significant term, almost equivalent to being a fact, because it has a proper evidence and a logical framework for explanations that can also make predictions, such as the theory of evolution or the theory of relativity. A hypothesis, on the other hand, is a logically educated idea that still requires further work. So, what evidence do we have so far regarding the hypotheses of the laboratory hypothesis and others that suggest a modern civilization is watching us? Well, if there is an advanced alien civilization ruling the universe, we should see some evidence of their alien-made structures or technologies, right? We should see things like Dyson spheres, off-thrusters, or even some techno-signatures, such as their communication exchanges, etc. But we have not seen anything like that so far. Definitely, if that civilization is more than 100 million years advanced than us and wants to keep itself hidden, then hiding its presence from us insignificant beings would be a piece of cake. Here, some scientists believe that if life, which we desperately try to find in the universe, is born with an expiration date by nature, then what? The process of life, from its inception to becoming intelligent, and ultimately evolving into a civilization that can dominate the universe, involves so many filters that it becomes impossible for any form of life to pass through them. For example, our dinosaurs had a large size, which was definitely a significant advantage for their survival. But this great advantage also became a major reason for their death, because when the Chicxulub asteroid collided with Earth, the impact and after effects killed the very creatures that were large in size first. So, that asteroid strike acted like a filter that wiped out all the oversized animals on Earth in one fell swoop, filtering them out. Now let's think about what characteristic of us humans has helped us survive the most so far. Well, it's our brain, our intelligence. However, this very attribute of intelligence, in intelligent species like us, can also become the reason for our demise. Well, let's reconsider this point. As we mentioned, the universe is 13.8 million years old. The beginning of Earth occurred about 4.5 billion years ago, and the presence of suitable conditions for a planet like Earth to form was just filter number one. If Earth had not formed, or if it had never stabilized, preventing water from existing in liquid form, life would never have begun. This is because most planets cannot form like Earth and get filtered out right at the beginning. Similarly, the formation of organic molecules from inorganic molecules, known as abiogenesis, is also a great filter, filter number two. Then, the evolution of life from unicellular to multicellular organisms follows. This filter is number three, the ability of life to evolve and survive on Earth outside of the ocean. This is filter number four, the evolution of intelligence in life, filter number five. Now, I have only mentioned a few selected filters as examples, but there could be thousands of filters through which all life forms must pass just to become intelligent. And then there are many more thousands of filters that will determine whether that intelligent life can progress for millions of years and spread throughout the universe, or if it becomes the cause of its own extinction. A glimpse of how capable intelligent life is in ending itself, whether intentionally or unintentionally, is shown to us by the World Wars. World War I claimed about 10 million lives at a time when technology was not very advanced. World War II, however, took 6 to 8 times more lives and caused even greater devastation due to the advancements in technology, resulting in approximately 60 to 80 million deaths, which was about 3% of the world's population at that time. If World War III were to occur, could it not spread an even more dangerous scene of death due to modern technology? Today, we have hydrogen bombs that are 2,000 to 3,500 times more powerful than the bomb that exploded in Hiroshima. There are chemical weapons and biological weapons that could cause global pandemics. On the other hand, we face threats from artificial intelligence and quantum computers, which could potentially set humanity back significantly. Is this the disease that every intelligent life carries with it, leading to its own civilization's end through its own advancements? And this is just considering direct human involvement. Nature, which gave us birth, might also become the cause of intelligent life's demise. Today, due to modernity, the Earth's temperature is rising by 0.11 degrees Fahrenheit every 10 years. The ice at our north and south poles is melting, many islands are sinking, and even cities like Kota, Bangkok, and Tokyo are experiencing fluctuations in weather, leading to unseasonal rains, floods, and droughts. Could nature's wrath be a significant great filter for intelligent life? Then there are the threats of earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanoes, as well as the dangers of asteroid strikes or gamma-ray bursts. If a gamma-ray burst were to hit Earth, it could turn the planet to ash. Are all these some of the great filters that an intelligent civilization must face? And perhaps they get filtered out and extinguished each time. If this is true, Is there a great filter ahead of our civilization that could permanently put a stop to our aspirations of becoming an advanced civilization? Well, on that note, friends, which group of scientists' thoughts do you agree with? Thought number 1 or thought number 2? Look at the truth. Either of the two can happen. So far, we have only discussed 3 or 4 of the solutions among the explanations of the Fermi Paradox. There can be thousands of explanations and solutions on which scientists with various kinds of thoughts and beliefs are working with conviction and commitment. And then, in the end, the thinking of one of these scientists is proven to be correct, and the achievement comes to their hands. You know what? In the end, should the credit for this entire discovery or invention go to that one person whose idea was right from the beginning? Well, his idea was proven correct because the ideas of thousands of scientists were proven wrong. Amidst the heap of those wrong-proof ideas, one correct idea waves its flag of success. And that is why being proven wrong or failing in science is just as important as being proven right. The only condition is that you should be genuinely curious to know the truth. Thanks for watching.